One. Okay. Hello. Wow. Hello, everyone. I'm Allison, and welcome to my weekly meltdowns coverage of Survivity.
It's
I've
surviving.
been hanging out with my 3-year-old grandson too much. Survivor 40 several or 47. This is a mid-season check-in. Life has been lifing. So
Yeah.
we're just doing a check-in this season, and then we'll follow up here and there later after this episode. That you know what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm saying. I hope everyone's doing well. With me, as always, Tyler and Aaron. I just want to start the show. First of all, I've got like a
Let's hear it.
hair. I just want to give some life advice real quick before we go
I'm ready.
any further.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready for this.
When you call a business, how you treat the person that answers the phone means everything, and vice versa. The person who answers the phone, how you treat the person on the other end does matter as well. But let it be known that the person answering the phone, whether it be the office manager, the reception, whoever, and doesn't matter, the guy covering the phone at lunch, if you're a jerk, I'm going to tell you right now, the person that you're trying to get to is going to find out. They're going to find out, especially if you're looking for a job or something else. Be kind to everyone. Let's just be nice to everybody. How about that?
Imagine
Let's try
that. What a concept.
A
What
concept. Yeah.
And I'm not a people person, but I deal with people. Oh, you know what I'm saying? And let me tell you something. AI writer is the best thing in the world because Allison sounds so gosh dang professional these days. People are like, what happened? And I'm like, I don't know. I've just been, reading a lot. I'm serious.
Has AI been like writing all of your emails?
I'm telling you right now, I am not the only person that writes a paragraph on my Facebook app mobile and then clicks help me write, professional, humorous, funny, heartfelt, and then picks the best version, cuts and pastes, puts in an email to them, and then just sends it in all the time. Yep, I'm that person.
Why not?
Is Ainsley helping you write these emails?
Yeah, why not? She's on hiatus. It's better than her sidekick.
Oh, I was not ready
God,
for
that was scary. I don't need to see that again.
For their Survivor only people, they're like, what the heck? It was that little blue thing that just came out.
Has anybody watched Lawnmower Man? And also, I'm on a Russell Crowe kick right now because of the election. I got to watch a lot of Russell Crowe. Unhinged was a good one for me, and Gladiator currently in my. But anyway, so Virtuosity with Denzel Washington from 1995. You need to watch that. And Lawnmower Man. I wish I had thought about that during Big Brother, whatever, 20. Which one did we just come off
26.
of?
26.
Oh, God, already.
Speaking of, Chelsea just did a long form interview with RHAP, like going over her game and stuff. I really can't wait to hear that. I'm very excited to listen to that.
Oh, I need to listen to that also. And we're going to get to Survivor. Before you even start, if this is your first time here, we talk, we communicate with each other. We don't just jump right in. And I normally can't speak, so this is whatever. How did I not know that there was a new boy band docu-movie on Paramount Plus called Larger Than Life? It talks about New Kids on the Block and a bunch of other boy bands.
Oh, interesting.
How did I not know about this?
It says everything from the Beatles to K-pop. Interesting.
Yeah, and Tiffany, I think we're alone now. Tiffany, who had New Kids on the Block open for her.
Yeah.
Ended up she opened for that's very odd. That's like if I went to work for Tyler. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I went to work for his podcast. No, I'm just kidding.
That's like Taylor Swift opening for Sabrina Carpenter.
Right? That's exact. And I know the reference now. I know who that is. I know who that is.
You know Sabrina Carpenter?
Actor. That's how I know. She's dating that actor guy. I know.
Allison, I'm very impressed. I'm very, very impressed that you know Sabrina Carpenter.
Don't ask me her music, but I know who she is. Anyway, so I was reading this article about Tiffany on people.com because I get on there, so, when I'm killing time for the show. Apparently, she was tortured by all the girls that love New Kids on the Block, but I knew all about that. And then I get in the new docu-movie, and I'm like, how does Allison not know? And before my husband left, he goes, well, that's because no one's been murdered. That's how you didn't know.
Yeah, that's very true. Very accurate.
My algorithm's not picking up that kind of stuff. Anyway, how's everyone doing? How are we?
Oh.
Go ahead, Aaron. You go first.
There's a lot of life changes happening in a span of less than 2 weeks. So yeah, it's been a lot of changes. I'm moving and relocating and seeing how things go for me back in Columbus, Ohio. So, just
is that where you're originally from?
No, it's where I went to college, but I was able to get a really good housing deal with some old college buddies, and I said, you know what,
nice.
in this economy, yeah, you know what, I think it's time for roommates. I've tried to live alone for 10, 12 years, and I'm like, you know what,
Aaron, times are I'm about to start charging these cats rent.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's crazy.
These two little ones running around like, oh my God, I've almost died a few times this week because Daisy and JoJo are just everywhere. And bless Oliver's heart, he's 15 and he's just like, why won't the Lord take me? And I'm like, I don't either. I asked that same question when Finley left. Why is he going and not you? Anyway.
Oh yeah. Actually, I'm the house I'll be staying in has 2 cats in it already. So I had cats when I was younger, but I don't know what happened when I got in my 20s, but I just got huge allergies to them. So I've been looking into vacuums and air purifiers with HEPA. So I could, at least have better breathing experiences around them. So
it also depends on the dander in the cat. Some people are around long hair cats and their allergies are just terrible. And then you're around a short hair and you're fine. So my son he's really bad around long hair cats. And with Oliver here is the only long hair cat. I don't know. Daisy's looking a little spry. I think she's going to be a long hair, but I kept a special little thing of Claritin just for him. And as soon as he walks in, he pops a Claritin. And
I need to forget what to take. Yeah, that's what I need to. Because I don't know. I never know what allergy medicine to take because I haven't had to be around cats for longer than a couple hours being over at friends' houses. So
I would take Claritin, and I vacuum my couches once a week.
Okay.
People come over to my house and they're like, it doesn't even feel like you have cats. That's because I have OCD. But anyway.
No, that's good because I'm going to be doing that as well. I mean, I would need to because
you just hit me up if you need some. What do I do about? I'll tell you. Trust me, I'll tell you.
Allison will have the step-by-step guide.
If I have socks on and I stepped around on the carpet and then I put my shoes on, sometimes I feel the cat hair through the socks and my feet feel tingly. And I'm like, okay, so there's definitely something happening.
Lint roller. You need a lint roller.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Also, if they're and I'll get off. I know Tyler's dying right now. If you have if they have a bright colored cat, and you are doing laundry and folding clothes, and you have dark clothes, I leave the shirts inside out.
Oh, yeah.
So when you fold them, if there's any, it gets on the inside and not the outside. It's just a trick I learned with having light colored cats everywhere and dark clothes. I just fold inside out. Anyway,
yeah, one of them's white. So yes, I definitely,
So I would do that.
Okay.
Anyway, how's everyone doing? Tyler?
I'm doing good. I had my birthday was on Monday, so I turned 33 years old. And I got a new laptop. So this is my first show from my new laptop, which is very exciting for me. Because it's the speed of the computer is so much better than my previous one. So I have one more wedding left that I'm getting through editing wise, and the speed of it is just so quick. I love it. It's a beautiful machine. So, and it wasn't supposed to be ready for another week. So when I got a text on my birthday being like, "Hey, your computer's ready for pickup," like it just made my day. So I've just been kind of in like hibernation mode, just like getting work done, just like catching up on rest. It's good that my season's over, and I don't know, I can like finally just like relax a little bit and catch up on rest and stuff. So I'm enjoying some very well earned me time lately.
Yes, and I love your setup, and now I actually know where that is. Like I actually know.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yes,
yeah.
Aaron stayed over, so he has the context of what this living room looks like outside of like this background here.
Did you sleep on that green pullout?
Yeah.
So have I. That's a very comfortable.
Oh, it's so comfy. I have to say, it's great.
Yes, that was nice. Very nice. Looking to get something for that for my grandsons when they come over. We're actually going to convert the guest bedroom into, because my dining room can't stay the playroom anymore. I can't deal with it. So we're turning the guest room into the boys' playroom / overnight. Yeah. So we're looking into getting something like that. Anyway, thank you for joining us talking about Survivor 47. 47, what a number.
Yeah.
I know, right? What are like our first like overall impressions on the season? Because this is our first time like not recapping like week to week to week to week to week. Like this is our first time like really properly chatting Survivor 47. So like just like spitfire some thoughts. I want to hear what you guys think.
First time in 9 years of doing My Weekly Meltdown that I have not covered Survivor.
Wow.
How does that feel?
I'm going to be honest with you. Like I will start watching it at night and fall asleep, and I wake up right as like it's over, and I'm like, well, who the hell got out? And then I rewatch it in the morning. It's very weird. I'm not writing. I'm not like I'm watching it, but I'm like just relaxed because I don't have to remember everything. Stuff. Not that I really do.
Yeah,
that's all right. It feels weird.
Yeah, I think of all the new era seasons, I think this would have been one I would have wanted to play. I just feel like the mechanics and the twists and things they've tried overall as a group have been largely okay. Some I've even really liked. So I think I like the direction they're going in. I like some of the decisions they made. I do wish some of the early merge votes, more people were eligible to be voted for, but you know, I mean, although it's still weird to think that there's like still 9 people left after this episode. It just feels like, you know, we're like, so far in, but I feel like we haven't, you know, still gotta whittle it down. So yeah.
I feel like you know, we're like in the post merge now, but I feel like we still have not just had like just a regular everybody's like there, everybody votes. Like I feel like it is so much like I don't know if it's more this season than previous seasons lately in the new modern era, but damn, I feel like every single week it's like Jeff saying, all right, we're going to split up into 2 groups, and then this one group goes off on this journey, and then the other group does this like 3-tier challenge, and then, but one of you is going to get your vote back, and then the other 2 get these like weird advantage. I don't know. It feels like every round is so different. Like it feels like Sequester. Like you know how like Sequester,
that's the like feeling I got. Yeah.
Every round is like a different format of the game. That's how I feel like this season of Survivor is. And damn, do I just want a regular like majority vote here? Like call me crazy, call me old school, but like I just want to see these players play because I feel like it's a really fun group. But like the twists and turns every week are just like really navigating so much of the strategy and like where like the chopping block ends up happening and stuff. And it's just, I don't know. It feels like the wind is just like taking these players through the season rather than like them playing the game.
Hey, listen, been here for a couple of years now. We have jackets. Okay. What have I been saying? It's too much. Like, can
It
we
is too
calm
much.
down with all of it? I mean, I can't. I mean,
Yeah.
it takes the excitement away. Like, well, the three of you are going to go on a boat and you're going to go to an island. And now, okay, in the beginning, that was fun. But now
Yeah.
it's like, shit,
Every
I don't
week.
want to be the person that goes because when I come back, I got to lie about it. You can't lie about it anymore because everybody knows. We know.
Yeah.
Just fess up. And even if you tell the truth, you're lying.
Yep.
You know? No.
So yeah, I don't know. I just I just miss like I just wanted to like slow down a little bit. Like there's some there are some like spoilers out there, and I don't like we don't know how true they are, but like I won't spoil like the boot order, but Rome did supposedly spoil the boot order from like the first boot all the way to like Saul. He's like said like in order.
We can do a spoiler
So
thing at the end of the show if y'all want.
I like that's up to Aaron. Like I don't want to like poo-poo his survivor experience or anything like that. But I don't know, like if the list is true, I'm trying to say this in a cryptic way. If the list is true, I haven't seen a case for the winner yet in terms of how they get there and like winners equity, winners confessional, winners edit. So I don't know if that's like too cryptic for y'all, if you want me to just say it or anything, but like, I don't know. I just, what I'm trying to say is,
but yeah.
Okay. What I'm trying to say is I
thinking.
feel like I don't know enough about these players yet. Like I feel like I don't have like a good sense of who, like we've barely heard from Caroline, and I feel like Caroline is like a really good confessional giver, a really good like strategist, but I don't feel like we know her well enough yet. Same for Rachel, same for I mean even like Gabe. Like Gabe is in like a good position, but I feel like he just doesn't really have like an edit there really at all. I feel like the only like big like edits that we have so far this season are Andy, just because he's like got like the dodo music and like the like slip ups like every week and stuff like that, and he's been really fun to watch. I've really enjoyed it, but I don't know, I just don't like, I don't have a case for a winner yet, if that makes any sense.
I wanted to stab Andy after the first episode of Survivor. I was like, oh honey, he reminds me of my son. Like he's he just the way he was like he would when he panicked in the beginning and just was like calling, like, well, nobody's like, and it's like, dude, just calm down. Okay. This is a new experience. You don't really know everyone yet. Read the room. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just calm down. It's okay. And it brings me to this place of younger people. And this isn't for everyone, not every younger person, but what I have experienced. There's a group of younger people who the instant gratification, the instant validation, the instant, congratulate, everything that they get is so instant that when they're in a situation where they don't have that validation right away, or their picture isn't liked right away, you know what I'm saying? Like they are confused and lost and they don't know what to do. And you got to teach these kids how to read people. And I'm not talking about reading from a phone or an iPad or a computer screen. We're kind of getting into an area of these younger players that are coming in, and this goes for not just Survivor, this goes for Big Brother and some other stuff too. Really having that personal one-on-one, getting to know people and not translating your self-worth through a text message is very valid, is very important in life. Okay. I know one of you, I'm not going to name names, doesn't like phone calls. Okay. But
every time you call me, like the first thing you say is, hey, I know you don't like the phone calls, but
no, the first thing I say is stop your eye rolling. I said, stop your eye rolling. Because I've got to say something, and I need to say it and I need you to hear it because it's serious. Because I think things get lost in translation. But anyway, not to shit on it. I love Andy. I I think he got paranoid and scared right away, which doesn't really surprise me for someone kind of like him. I could smell it. I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And once he kind of got the theatrics out of the way, and I hate to, it's not theatrics, and I don't want to shit on, that's just what I'm using. I get it. I'm not saying his feelings were not real, but once you get past the veil, and he really starts playing and he's listening and he's concentrating, he's doing everything he can, but it's like he's grown up before our eyes almost. Does that make sense? No.
I feel like he's
yes.
I know what you're saying, but I feel like he's such a big fan. Like, we have to be careful with these super fans and like the amount of self-producing that they do. Like, I feel like Andy has really leaned into like this almost like David Wright from Survivor, Millennials versus Gen X, like that kind of like glow up, like that island like glow up that like the nerdy archetype has out on the island. I feel like that's what Andy wants his story to be, and he's like really self-producing himself that way. So I don't know. I'm just like, I'm careful about like the super fan like crafting their own story in a way that's like very hyper aware that they're on a television show. And that's how I kind of feel about Andy. I don't really see him having a chance to like win in the end. I don't really see that. Like, Aaron, what do you think about Andy?
I mean, I like Andy. I mean, anybody from Buffalo, I'm always gonna root for. Yeah. But I want to get behind Andy so bad, but I also feel like Andy gets in his own way. And even, I mean, and yeah, I feel like Andy is really good at being able to articulate to us what he's trying to do, but in person or like the actual like real life interaction, something's not okay. The perfect way to describe, sometimes when you're like thinking a thought or thinking about something and it's like really good the way you think about it in your mind.
Yes.
And then you actually try to say what you were thinking and it's nothing like what you thought it was going to
be.
That
is what this entire show is based on.
Yeah.
You just summed up this entire show for 9 years. It was it sounded good, didn't it?
I think it sounded good in my mind, but when I actually said it didn't really come. That's what I feel like Andy is like. So I feel like the potential is there. It's just getting lost in translation once he actually has to interact with people, and obviously Andy has certain strengths of being able to like kind of like a to use an Australian Survivor term, like an Australian Survivor, the male version of Australian Survivor Christie, where it's sort of like, this is a player that is perceived as not the top dog, that kind of could be written off, but is able to still fool people into thinking that they have them.
Yeah.
I feel like Andy's gonna have to do a lot though in these next few weeks if Andy wants a shot at winning. Just
That's
because
I just don't see him doing it.
Because again, like what is the story here when he gets to the end? Like, what do you say? I mean, granted, it is cool to see somebody that started off as like doing a public call out that probably should have been the first boot, making it far. But once we got to the merge and he kind of got to like what, I mean, and like some of them could end up being on the jury if he gets I don't know who, depending on the makeup of the jury. I just don't know what case Andy would have. Because again, Sierra is like mayor of the jury, and that's going to have a big impact on, people comparing notes when they come back. I don't know.
Yeah, he's that classic player that is like now in the merge, but doesn't really have a ton of connections. So people like, and he's really presenting himself as like, hey, I'm available. Like my vote's for sale. Like come to me with your blind side. I'll be a part of it. But he's not really the one like orchestrating anything, right? Like he's the one that's just like trying to make sure it's not him that ends up going home. So I just like it's a viable way to get very far in this game for sure. But it's not a viable way to win this game. If you're not like the one at the end that's able to say like I orchestrated this blindside, I was the one that got this group together. Like if you're the last person brought in on the plan every single week, like that just shows that like people just really value your vote just as like simple currency that can just be like thrown away once like the votes are small enough that they don't need you anymore. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. You know what a weird thing though is too? I'm kind of in a similar. I'm in a similar place to Tyler because like looking at the cast, I'm just like, I don't like none of you have a really strong. Like nobody well, a couple people stick out to me, but nobody has like a really strong like out in front case to win the game. But somebody still has to win the game.
I mean, and like, so at this point, Aaron, like, remember, like, Dee and even Kenzie last season, I feel like they had so much, like, star power surrounding them in terms of, like, the attention that they're getting and, like, the case for the victory and, like, the confessionals, like, explaining their games and stuff like that. I don't see a single person this season that has, like, that kind of star power about them, if that makes any sense.
I mean, the only person that sticks out to me, maybe only two people right now, I would say, just based on the Triumph makeup, are Gabe and Caroline. Only because Gabe has had this whole thing of like, I want to be on the Mount Rushmore of the new era. And Caroline has just been consistently strong throughout the whole game. I did think Teeny coming into the merge had a really good chance, but after Genevieve's move tonight or this week, I just don't know how either of them. Okay, if Teeny can make it to the end of the game, I think they can win. I do, just because I feel like a lot of people do like Teeny, and I mean, Teeny has just been constantly left out of stuff and had to like come back from that. I do think there's a case for Teeny in a way that maybe like a Jake or an Owen who had similar kind of journeys would not have.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think this was good for Genevieve at all. I don't know what Genevieve really gets out of this long term. I feel like this was a move that she should have made later. I mean, it's cool that she was able to do it. I just don't. I think part of the reason that it was able to work so easily for her is because it was not a good move for her.
Yeah.
And so other people were like, because and that's kind of something that I would think about if I was in the game and I was trying to do something big and then all of a sudden it was like really easy to do, unless I felt like I had some weird, stranglehold on the social game. I'd be like, oh, everybody's so willing to help me do this. Maybe this isn't actually, good for me the way I think it is. I don't know what she gets out of it. And I feel like it really exposes her. And Tuku still has 4 people out of 9, which all it takes is just a couple more votes and they have majority. I don't know what Genevieve is getting at. And I don't know what Genevieve believes is the end game for her, because I don't know how Genevieve gets to the end.
I feel like it's a very common case of I need to play a big move. I need to like add something to my resume. So I need to do all this like flashy 3D chess, like super mega fan shit. That like, it worked in the moment for Genevieve. But like Aaron, I had the same thought of like, what is the benefit to getting Saul out from Genevieve's perspective here? And what is the benefit of doing all of this work around camp to make it happen and to get like all of this attention on yourself as this like really great like strategist that can like change the game and like blindside somebody huge? When Kyle is sitting right there invulnerable this week, like I was like, sometimes the simple plan is just the best one.
Honestly, if Kyle
challenges has that man won in
He's
a
won
row?
Three, and he almost won a fourth.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he was vulnerable this week, and like I don't understand why. Like, why are we doing all of this like 3D chess to get out Saul? Who Saul is like a good player, but I don't think he has like winner's equity. Like, he's just a simple
We're doing
good
all
old
of
boy,
this shit for Saul.
And Kyle didn't even get a vote. That's crazy. No, not one person voted for Kyle. That's crazy. I feel like if Kyle goes on an immunity winning streak and gets to the final 3, and y'all had one chance to get him out and you didn't do it, I don't know what to tell y'all. I mean, y'all played yourselves. I don't know what to say to that. It's crazy.
I think the move should have been Kyle this week. Like, it is just too much sometimes for these like modern Survivor players. Like, it's just so frantic, and then like all of these like shenanigans of like getting up at tribal council to like talk and chatter and stuff like that, only for it to be Saul, which was like the plan all along. Like, I don't know. It's just like too damn much for what purpose, for what game.
I really just, and I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to interrupt you, Todd. I'm just baffled that, God bless Saul. Excuse me. I like Saul.
I love Saul.
I was like, I can hang out with this guy. I just like, we gotta do this. What are we doing all this mastermind magical shit for him? Just vote him out.
Yeah.
Kyle is the one you need to be trying to backdoor, whatever the hell you call it on Survivor, or whatever it is. Do something. Stop it with this shit. It doesn't have to be a debate. Let's get up and everybody. I need to whisper in your ear. Can you? Yeah. I mean, it's just. It's overcast. Said last season. If I were Jeff, I'd be like, no, sit down. Every single one of y'all sit, because I'm gonna tell you something right now. You've had all damn day to discuss this. Now you're on my time. You're on my clock. I ask the questions. You do not get up and chit chat. That's over. I'm putting a stop to it. It was cute. It's not cute. If you don't know what you're doing by the time you get here, sorry, time to vote.
Yep.
End of it. Wow.
I agree. Like I was telling that
I'm getting on to my children.
No, I agree. Like my fiance like said the same thing. He was like, why did they wait until tribal council to do all of this? And I was like, this is one thing I really respect about Big Brother is like once the eviction ceremony starts, like that shit is on lockdown. Like there is no chatter, no conversation, no getting up from the seats or anything like that. And I understand it's like fun TV to like have like a chaotic tribal council. But it's just so frequent now that it's like expected rather than like a big surprise for like a big moment. I don't know.
Well, Big Brother, because they're in the house, they kind of are doing this, but they're doing it throughout the day, like days on end. They're, because they can't do anything else. So if they, I think with Big Brother this past season, I like the way, I think we all kind of agreed that there were 3 nominees and they had to battle it out. And that really leveled the playing field. And excuse me for the new era of Big Brother, it really helped. And they couldn't really do any last minute anything. But you really don't see the last minute anything anyway, unless you're glued to the feeds. And even then, you can't see it because they bring they shut the feeds down hours and hours. I mean, I remember the days that Big Brother used to watch the girls get ready in the bathroom, and I'm sitting here taking notes on the makeup regimen, because they look so good. I'm like, I want to know what that is, and stuff. So it's weird because with Big Brother, and I think they do the same thing in a way, but it's in a different way. But you're right. It's, I wonder if they tell them when on eviction night, when they're sitting there, okay, guys, no more talking. You can sit there and joke around and buddy, whatever during commercials and when Julie's talking to Jesus in the crowd, you be quiet, but you can't talk the show because you're not allowed to say who you're voting for is what I understand.
Right.
So, but Survivor, you can. I'm voting for Saul. Why? Because I have a plan to get him out and I just want to have a resume. I mean, that's just how I felt, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How do we feel about Sue?
Hold on, I'm looking. I got to see a picture. I'm looking.
Well, okay,
Sue's
Sue.
the
I
45-year-old.
know Sue came in with the idea of like, I'm gonna get to the end. I'm gonna say like I'm, actually 53 or the age that she actually 56.
She's 59.
59 years old.
I
I beat all of you. I first of all, what in the Bowie Jane is this? I don't get saying. I don't get saying. Like honestly, at a certain point, because she's probably already seen as the oldest woman anyway. I just don't know, like, what is the difference between saying you're in your 40s versus saying you're in your 50s when people already perceive you as the oldest? Like, what is that actually doing?
Listen, you could tell me you're 38. You're filled with so much work. I mean, I'm not being ugly, but there's a lot going on there. Okay. There's a lot going on there. So telling me that you're younger, stop listening to your fairy godmother that you see every 6 weeks. Okay. Because no. High def. We're in high def, honey. I ain't lying about my age without makeup on in high def. Baby, I hear you, Sue. I hear you and I feel you, but just no.
And also, it's the thing of like, if you're willing to lie about your age, what else? Like, I feel like it would make it so hard to like form anything with you and be like genuine, because you have to like lie about a lot of things because you're saying you're like,
I couldn't keep
10, 13 years younger than you actually are. And then you have to like, the references have to be like 13 years newer. It's just, there's a lot of stuff that like falls off that you can't talk about because you're lying about 20% of your life. It's just it's like I don't know what the benefit is.
Yeah,
it really doesn't add anything.
I'm 47, okay, and if I went, and I'm a grandma too, and if I went on Big Brother or Survivor and said I was, what could I get away with? 35, maybe 32, 30, something like that. Let's say I said I was 30. And I started talking about, well, when I graduated from high school in 95, they'd be like, 95? What? Weren't you born in
94?
94 or something? I mean, it just really doesn't make, I'm terrible. Like, I'm terrible because how many times I go, well, when I was, greasing up the wheels for my buggy, that before we had cars around here, I'm always like we're laughing around, everybody around here's like, oh God, Allison, you're always talking about when you were younger. I'm like, well, that happens when you become a grandma. Oh God, the fight I got into with my grandson the other day over the iPad, I was like, dude, no.
Whoa.
Anyway, but yeah, it just it's too much. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Here's the thing, because we've seen a lot of players of this archetype in the new era. Like I think of your Heathers of the world, your Tiffany's, maybe Heidi, kind of to some extent. I'm like blanking on people as I'm continue.
I do
Julie,
think Sue's a better version.
No.
Yeah.
I actually think Julie's probably the best of that archetype so far. But it's sort of like, these are people who make it very far into the game. And I mean, I just need to see what Sue does with her idol, because she still has it.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
If she's able to do something with it, her red-handed idol that probably still has pain. Like I'm just wondering, like, how has like she not had any other thing turn red, since? Because like I feel like it's still on there somewhere, and you have to like fiddle around in your bag, and maybe and then it's like, oh, new paint I have to wash off in the ocean.
That was a massacre. She's at the water well trying, like, she found the immunity idol, and then it like exploded. It was like she was a bank
It
robber,
was
and
in a
she
tree and
reached
then
in,
it
and
fell on the
it had
ground.
one of those,
Yeah.
it had one of those
I would have
timer
loved to
things on
have
it.
like if I would have loved to have seen you, Allison, like be the one to find the scene of the crime there and like just see like all of your like crime documentaries, like your head just like spinning with like
I'm
theories about what
CSIing the
happened.
shit out of this. With my luck, I would be the one covered in the blood looking stuff. And it's like I said, and I don't know if you remember, like she's washing at the well, and they're like, "Are you okay? What happened?" I just would be like, "I started my period." Because once you say something like that, the guys are not asking you more questions.
Yeah, they're like, "Okay, bye."
They're really not. But can you imagine if Sue and I were both on Survivor together, and we both are on different tribes, and I'm honest about my age, and she's like, I'm 47, and then we merge, and she's like, yeah, I'm 45, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm 47. That's not going to go well.
No.
The math ain't math.
The math is
that's not going to math. I'm going to be like, Sue, honey, baby.
No.
Come on now. But I'm impressed with her, though. I am. She's.
I love what Sue's been doing.
I
want to see.
She holds the record for oldest woman to win immunity challenge as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
not at 45, at 59.
Well, yeah.
So.
Which I guess they can't really highlight because she's lying about her age.
Right, exactly. I know that would have been so cool if, like, Jeff said, like, when he gave her the necklace, he was like,
"You're the oldest woman ever."
Hold the record for the oldest woman to win an immunity challenge, but not at 45 years old. So hopefully she mentions that if she does get to the end. I feel like that could be like a good thing to have on your resume. But yeah, I don't know. I just I see Sue like doing well so far. So
Andy's sitting over there going, she said she was 45. He's a super fan, right? She's 45. She's the oldest woman to. Wait a minute. That's not right. She can't be 45.
I'm gonna pull up the cast here. So let's see. Who else have we not talked about
didn't have Caroline's picture. It's funny.
Where's Caroline?
I guess they didn't have
this
a
is
picture
from
at the time.
Yeah, they didn't have a picture of her yet. this is very classic Caroline though. I have to say, so like I photographed the RHAP event a few weeks ago, and like a lot of the cast were there, or the cast cousins, I guess is the code word that we're saying for some reason. And Caroline came up to me before the show started with her like friends, and she was like, "Sorry, can I get a picture real quick?" And I totally forgot that Caroline was like a player on the season. I thought she was just some like random like RHAP person. I was nice, like I was like, "Yeah, sure," but like after I took that picture, I was like, she just came up to me so confidently and like asked for a picture, like while I'm like trying to take pictures of like Rob and stuff like that. I'm like, who is this gal? And then, like, because I hadn't like seen her at like any RHAP event before. And then like as soon as the episode started like playing, I was like, wait, that's Caroline. I just like totally blanked on like her existence for a second, which is I think kind of indicative of like her game. Unfortunately, I feel like she's just been very like under edited, very like under like shown in the season. And I like what she's like. I like what she's done so far, but I like her as a player. But I just don't see like a story there for her, really. Unfortunately,
maybe she's the winner. Maybe she's the winner. Maybe. Could be. Kind of random that you got. It's so random.
It was so funny. I wish I could like replay that moment back. Who do you guys think is the winner this season? Like, give me like the final three and the winner.
Oh God, I don't even know. You know what? Okay.
And I'm gonna abstain because I presumably know, thanks to Rome.
Rome.
Yes. I'm just trying to think of who would be there at the end. I could see like I feel like Sue's at the end for some reason. I also feel like Andy's at the end.
Yeah, I feel real strong about Andy being at the end.
I feel like
a losing finalist for Andy.
Yeah, I think like a Gabe or Caroline. Not both. I mean, it'd be cool if it was both, but I feel like one of those two is probably there at the end. Kyle, if he goes on a winning streak. I just feel like Gabe and Caroline are my top 2 winner picks. If followed by Teeny, Teeny just radiates winner energy for me for some reason. I just feel like a lot of people would want to vote for them. Wow, I didn't realize Sam was that young.
How old is Sam?
And like Andy's like
24.
7 years older than he is, but I feel like I keep thinking like Andy's
God,
younger.
we're old when that's young. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, like most of the cast is older than me because I would have been 29 during the filming of this, so I would have been the same age as Genevieve, which is very interesting. I know. Wow. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I don't really know.
What do you think, Allison?
Hold on, I'm sending an invoice because I'm technically working. Hold on one second. I think Andy is definitely going to be in the final 3. I don't see like a winning factor. Let's see here. This is so professional. Just so you know, I take my job very serious.
Yeah.
Okay, it's let's see here. Okay, so I think Andy's in the final 3. I think Sam is in the final 3. I think Gabe. Man, see, after listening to what you said, it's in my head now.
Yeah, same. I was like, oh yeah.
Like
but then I was like, maybe somebody that I think is more that sticks out to me doesn't stick out to Tyler in the same way. So I can't really. I have to take it with a grain of salt.
I'll say across the board, I don't feel like there's a strong winners at it. Is what I mean. Like I'm not saying like the actual person is like
that's why I'm like I'm just gonna go off my gut. Yeah.
I'm just saying there's no flashy winners at it. Like you know how like in Survivor 45. The whole season, I was saying D's the winner. D's the winner. D is going to win this season. I just and even like Kenzie, I feel like had like a strong like winners at it. I just don't feel that anybody has like a fully painted picture of like their journey and their story yet. That's what I mean.
God, I would say Gabe, Sam, and Andy could be a good solid 3. And also, I don't know. Who is it that's is it Genevieve and Andy? I can't figure that out. I mean, is she going to work with him or not?
You mean Rachel?
Know? Rachel. Sorry, Rachel. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to figure out. That just seems like a very awkward. Will they or won't they? And I don't see that being a will they at all. It makes me uncomfortable when they talk in the dark, especially the first time they always. And she even said it makes me uncomfortable. You know, no pun intended, but I don't know. It's I'm just looking at all these people and I'm thinking about the dramatic exits. I'm thinking about how Annika looked like she was going to shove that.
Oh, I love that.
What is it called? The
torch.
The torch. Yeah. See, that's where I'm at in life. It looked like Annika was going to put the torch in somebody's ass. I mean, I was scared. It was either Jeff or somebody. I don't know. And then who else was it that turned around and looked at? Was it you? Was it you? Who was it? It was it was a girl, right?
Tiana.
Was it Tiana? I can't remember.
That was when Saul played the thing to take Rachel out of that tribal council.
Yeah.
And then it was all of like the blue tribe that had to turn on each other.
Yeah.
And when there was a guy that I thought was gonna cry, like I can't believe you did that. You know, I can't remember who that was. Sierra was a little dramatic. Saul, man, I hated to see him go.
Yeah. I really liked Saul.
Yeah. I really did too. I don't know. I feel like they have watered down the edits on purpose because we are in a world more and more were things that spoiled more than ever. I mean, listen, I watched 90 Day Fiance, okay, and they just fired a couple. Well, they should fire this couple because the woman was so triggering. I couldn't even watch her. I had to fast forward through her. Her name was Renee, but it was spelled very weird. And she's this lady who lived in the Midwest, and she was dating this guy in another country, sweet guy who was blind. He was fucking blind. And she treated him like shit. And she just verbally abused him constantly. And she just ran her mouth and gave away everything. And they can't do that under contract, until the tell-all and everything. And, they're starting to really buckle down on people. Like, you're not going to be involved in anything if you open your mouth. You're done. So, I don't know. I think they're really starting to water down these. I really feel like the edits are watered down for a winner's edit. Because I'm thinking it's going to be Caroline now that you said Caroline, or who else doesn't have.
I'm sorry. I should have waited till the end to
no,
say
no,
that.
You didn't.
We're
not spoiling anything. We're
just
going off like there isn't anybody really.
Yeah.
But honestly, Caroline sticks out to be so much though, because I feel like a lot of people have been saying for weeks that Caroline has been a very strong.
Okay.
So if Caroline ends up
too
winning, I wouldn't
game
be
body
surprised.
though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Caroline win. I wouldn't be surprised to see Gabe win. I could see a Genevieve. I mean, if Genevieve is able to continue to do things and still manages to get to the end, great. I could see it working for Teenie. I feel like
I feel like Teenie is very overrated. I feel like people are really putting their stocks in Teenie, but I don't see anything I think Teenie's a cool character. I think Teenie has a very iconic look about them that is very memorable, if that makes sense. I don't know. I just feel like Teenie's more character rather than player. I don't know. There's
I mean, we said the same thing about Marianne, but Marianne is still able to do a lot of stuff towards the end too. So that's because I know Teenie has a lot of potential. Teenie just hasn't had the opportunity to really execute a lot of it, just based off of dynamics and decisions of other people around them. But
I'm sorry, I'm using the wrong they, right? Is that the correct?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Now, at the time, I think they were still not official out. Officially that until after. It was kind of like Evie, where it was at the time of filming, it was different than after filming. So yeah.
Well, Teenie really stayed up. I thought for sure they were going to win the immunity because that is a very hard challenge. And I'm not talking about, shame anyone's physique, but normally it's smaller.
Yeah.
I've seen more smaller people with smaller feet go for that's why I thought Kyle's got that. Why are we even, Jeff? Because look at this skinny ass. Come on over here. He's gonna win. Look at me. He's just but I was very impressed to see how far, they went. Yeah. I'd win that challenge. I would win that challenge.
Oh, totally.
I've got the tiniest feet. I would win that. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, my feet are too large. I would have a hard time on that.
Yeah. And I could hold myself up. You've seen my arms, Tyler.
Ew, speaking of feet, have you been keeping up with the challenge, Johnny Bananas foot fetish invasion?
Oh gosh. What?
It is sick, nasty behavior. Johnny Bananas has 3 gals that are Johnny's angels, and they all take turns letting him give them foot massages. And so Michelle Fitzgerald was trying to get in on this alliance. So she was barefoot on the on the bus trying to going home after the challenge. And Johnny was like, Michelle, I see what you're trying to do, and it's not going to work, even with your feet out. And it was just so nasty. I'm I
that's
not need
weird.
to hear.
I didn't need to know Johnny had a
No, I know. And I'm Michelle Fitzgerald, you are so much better than this to to flaunt your toes for Johnny Bananas. You are a Survivor winner, and the Survivor winners at war, runners up. Come on.
Not to yuck people's yum, but I mean, everybody's in what they're into, but I just it's
That is a thing though, because excuse me, about 10 years ago, I was approached by someone, actually a guy that I knew from Memphis who moved to LA, and actually he's been in some movies, he's been on some shows, and I think God, I don't want to say his name, but anyway, we were talking, and he approached me about foot porn and saying that he's, knows executives and people in Hollywood, shocker, that are really into that, and they will pay good money for pictures of your feet and this. And it went from, and I think this is why he blocked me on everything, because of this. It went from pictures of my feet to, he'll fly me back to Memphis.
Oh no.
And all you have to do is jerk me off with your feet and let me film it.
No.
And I'm sitting here going, it's not anyone. This was all you. This is you. I mean, I believe it's a thing, but I think that you are the one that's really into it.
Yeah.
And and you're offering me, and then I turned it down, and like, he, after that, like, he barely spoke, and then all of a sudden I'm blocked on everything, and I'm like, okay, yeah, because you wanted me to jerk you off with my feet, and I said no.
Yeah.
I know the truth.
So yeah, let me know when you catch up on the challenge. I want to hear your thoughts about Johnny Bananas' foot fetish. It is,
oh my God, like, can't we
something
get rid
else.
of him? He looks like a caveman with that big forehead.
Trying to think of any other like Survivor related news. I know Survivor, the Australia versus the World, finished filming. So I think that should be airing sometime early next year, I think. Usually it's around like February or March that it starts airing, I believe. And so that's like, I think Sari is in that, Parvati.
Yep.
Gosh, who else? I forget. The cast is really great. So like, if you're looking for a season to like jump into Australian Survivor, I feel like this is a really good season to watch. Also, the Traitors season 3 is starting, I think January 2nd or January 3rd.
Yes.
So we will definitely be covering that as well.
Of course.
I'm
I heard Parvati, speaking of Traitors and that Australian Survivor, she's on Deal or No Deal Island season 2.
Yes, with
Who
Dr.
else
Will
and
David
also
from Australian Survivor. Who's
which
like the Tony of
together,
Australian Survivor.
Which is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So lots of overlapping like reality TV stars. Also, Netta is currently in the Traitors Canada season 2, and I haven't seen anything, but like apparently she's one of the Traitors, and she is like running like the entire show. So
I
need to just like binge that sometime because I miss Netta on my screen.
I love it when these shows overlap when it's not the challenge. Because when it's the challenge, it becomes personal, and it's like, I don't like these Big Brother people and these Survivor people. And it's like, look, Paramount screwed the pooch. Blame Paramount. Okay. Just whatever. CBS sucks. It is what it is. I'm never getting cast on shit, so I don't care. So, but yeah, it's when these shows start crossing over like that, I like it. So, but so real quick, and Tyler, go back in your time machine and think, before you knew anything, who did you think was going to win Survivor 40 several?
I thought Genevieve. Like, I think like a few weeks ago when we were chatting with Beth, I think like we talked like Survivor for like 5 minutes at the end of the show, and I said like I had a really strong like Kim Spradlin type of feeling about Genevieve.
Oh yeah.
And I just feel like she has all of the things to make like a perfect Survivor player. I just don't think that I agree with you, Aaron, that I don't think this was the move this week, and I think it's really going to put her in like a spotlight of like a big threat coming up in the next week or two. So I just I don't know, if Genevieve were to like return for like Survivor 50 or something like that, I would definitely put my money on her as like somebody that I think could like win the season, because I think she's a really smart person. Her confessionals are really entertaining. She's got a great mind for the game. Socially, she's really good. I just feel like she's like the complete player in all the right ways. She was also very close to winning that immunity challenge this week too with Sue. So physically she can like keep up as well. I just think she has all of the things to like make a really great Survivor player. I just in execution so far in the merge, I just don't think she's had it, unfortunately. So that was my time machine guess was Genevieve, but not feeling it so much lately.
What about you, Aaron? Who's your one? Like, just who do you think's just gonna win? Just who do you think? Who?
Gabe.
Yeah, I'm feeling that too. I really I want to say Andy.
At first I kind of looked at Gabe and Rome as similar players, just because, especially in Ponderosa, like Gabe seemed to be like the kind of person in Ponderosa, and I was like, ooh, I don't know if that's really gonna translate well on the island. But for some reason, Gabe has been doing fine, and Rome kind of, flamed out the way that I thought. So,
but he was fun to watch.
He was fun to watch.
If Gabe has some big things up his sleeve, then cool. I could see. I didn't really have Caroline on my radar at all until I started watching, and then Caroline stuck out a lot to me. So I could see that. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. Just because there's so many Tuku left, and I'm just trying to see. I don't see a world where the former, like the Gata people and Teeny and Genevieve come together. I don't really see them doing that, especially after Genevieve just pulled this on Saul, and then both Genevieve and Teeny betrayed, Andy and Rachel. I don't see it. So I think a Tuku is going to win. It's just kind of where I'm at. Yeah.
I'm feeling kind of towards the, I was thinking Gabe. I was thinking Andy, Gabe.
Yeah.
Sam's getting screwed over a lot, and I'm just like, that would be a come up. It's
for some reason they let Sam get away twice. I don't know why they didn't vote out Sam over Sierra. I mean, I understand that Sierra might be a more long-term threat. I just feel like it's just a waste to let Sam last so long.
I agree with that.
Too many inches, so we'll see.
He could turn into a dark horse. Like if Kyle's voted out, like I could see Sam going on like a late immunity run to the end.
Oh,
that could easily happen.
Yeah.
Well, guys,
we'll see.
We got a lot. Yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely put another show together and compare notes here soon. Also, I don't know who killed John Bonet comes out on Netflix November 25th. November 25th.
I'm putting this on air. We are definitely covering that because that's my favorite like murder mystery case
I just
of all
want
time.
to
Unsolved murder case, whatever.
Point out Netflix. The name of the documentary should be "Why Did Burke Kill John Bonet?" Because if I hear one more person say, well, there's no way Burke could have done it because he didn't write the letter. Of course he didn't write the ransom note. Are you kidding? Mommy and Daddy helped cover it up. You nuts? Think about it. We've come a long way since that little girl was murdered. We should all know more about crime by now.
Okay? Did you know that there's a conspiracy theory that John Benet Ramsey is actually Katy Perry?
Yes, and we'll talk about that. And Avril Lavigne is an alien, and it's another.
No, but if you look at pictures of Katy Perry compared to like John Benet Ramsey's like beauty pageant like pictures, it's like literally the same face. So take that what you will.
It could be. It could be. I don't know. Also coming up on the show, I've got I am going to deep dive into the M. Night Shyamalan archive. We're gonna cover the movie Trap. Yes, it came out a few months ago. I love this movie. I think it's great because of Josh Hartnett. Let's just forget that he's a beautiful man, but the way he polished this turd, there should be an award. I think there needs to be a new Academy Award every year for shitty movies with great actors that just commit. You know what I'm saying? That are fully committed. So, I think he did a great job in it. We're going to kind of dive into some of not all the films, but he had a comeback, I feel, of some kind, was Split, and then Glass kind of thing, and then the bottom fell out again. So I don't know where we're going, but I think that'll be fun. So we do have things coming up on My Weekly Meltdown. We took a little break, a much needed break. Listen, I've been doing this for almost 10 years. And when my kitty, when Finley Mitchell Kelly died, Allison had to take a break. And listen, he's here. If y'all joining me, Finley's here. He's right here. He's with me. He's not at my feet, but he's on the desk right next to me, staring at me, going, "Bitch, wrap this up, Jesus." I'm hungry. Give me a break. So anyway, thank you.
Alrighty, well, we'll be back. Whenever, probably to chat the end of the season of Survivor and get us ready for the Traitors season 3 as well. So lots of stuff coming up, but and the JonBenet Ramsey documentary as well.
And I might do a Gladiator 2 recap.
Oh.
Because, and if anyone wants to do it with me, jump on, let's go. Because I just like I said, I'm on Russell Crowe kick right now. I just rewatched Gladiator twice. And I've heard rumblings of what they're trying to do in the sequel, and I got issues. I got problems.
Okay.
And I'm gonna need to talk about it. Because that turd don't flush. I'm sorry. It just don't. Period. And Pedro Pascal. Anyway, yes. Thank you. Please subscribe on, what's it called? The Patreon
Apple
stuff?
Podcasts and Spotify and patreon.com/myweeklymeltdown.
Yeah. And moving over to is it Bluesky or Culture something?
Bluesky. That's where it's at. Elon Musk. Join me on Bluesky. Let's make it happen.
I can't figure out.
Power to the people.
I can't find anybody. Please find me. My Weekly Meltdown. It's just I got it early. I finally got my handle, but I can't find
anybody. I'm
typing in names. You can't literally find people unless you know their handle. You cannot type in the real name to find people.
Listen, they're still working out some kinks. It'll happen. Don't worry.
You should have seen me this morning.
We'll get all 100 followers back.
Yeah, I've only got 5 right now, but that could have changed. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I want to go offline so I can show you that spoiler. So we'll see you guys when we see you. Have a good one and take care. Bye-bye.